Welcome back to the RM Classic Car Auction and the top 10 cars to roll across the block. At number 7 on our list is a German car with British coachwork commissioned by an Indian Maharaja. This 1937 Mercedes-Benz 540K Special Roadster is certainly a bit of a hybrid, and its British coachwork makes it an anomaly among the 419 produced by Mercedes before World War II. It's one of fewer than 10 that carry British bodies, in this case fabricated by the small carriage company Mayfair.
The thing about the Mayfair bodywork is it has all these louvers all over it. In fact, anyone who looks at this particular car would say louvers. That's the one word I think you'd remember. So extraordinarily rare. 540K Mercedes are rare to begin with, but with that coachwork it was spectacular. So for it to bring greater than $2 million is absolutely no surprise.
The first of 4 cars on our list from RM's 2007 Monterey Sports and Classic Car Auction held in Monterey, California, the 540K more than held its own as one of the most prestigious pre-war cars available.
540K was the absolute top of the line supercharged car. Yeah, you floor the car to kick in the supercharger and the thing takes off. It was probably the fastest thing on the road in its day. The particular car you're talking about is resale red, which is always important when you're going to have a high-end car. Red is very attractive to most buyers.
On the block we have a 1937 Mercedes-Benz 540K Special Roadster. Now this is an absolutely spectacular car to look at, and as the bidding is going on here, there are 3 people on the phones at one time, which is the most we've seen so far here working it.
540Ks are the most desirable pre-war Mercedes.
Well, the feeling in the room here is there's absolute silence between Peters talking here. I even feel like I need to talk a little bit quieter because people are just waiting for somebody to lift a finger and push it over $2.3 million that it's at right now.
Do I hear 2,400,000?
It's like a golf match. We're waiting for somebody to sink a putt.
Well, they're calling for the third call at $2.3 million, and it's somebody here in the room. And that was it, $2.3 million.
Thank you very much indeed.
$2.3 million for the 1937 Mercedes-Benz 540K Special Roadster, which was the highest domestic price ever paid for one of the legendary Teutonic machines.
That's just scratching the surface. 540Ks are going to be going up in value, and this one certainly has since the day it was sold.
Coming in at number 6 on our top 10 countdown is a flawless example of the finest American automobiles ever made. This 1937 40 Duesenberg Model SJ Cabriolet, which tore the limelight away from the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda at RM's 2007 Vintage Cars in Arizona event, is a singular example of the greatest of all classics, with a sumptuous body designed by the original owner, German abstract expressionist Rudolf Bauer.
The Bauer Duesenberg, or the so-called Bauer Duesenberg, built in '37. It was the last Duesenberg built. It's one thing to have the first of something. A lot of car collectors believe it's better to have the last of something, but to have something like this, it's gigantic wheelbase. That car was essentially in original condition. It sat for decades in a museum. It had signs of wear and great little bits of patina all over the car. So not only was it spectacular in its black and violet leather interior, but it had that original condition. It was a kind of time capsule for its extraordinary story.
RM co-owner Mike Fairbairn was on hand in Phoenix to show off this breathtaking doozy.
This is one of the most important pre-war American classics that exists today. Duesenberg, of course, is the preeminent mark from the pre-war era. This was the ultimate car. If you were wealthy enough or powerful enough to be able to afford anything you wanted in the world, this is the car that you bought. It was $40,000. And this is in the middle of the Depression. So these cars were regarded at the time as the ultimate. In fact, one of the expressions that we use today to refer to something that's really terrific is to say it's a doozy. And a lot of people don't know, but that's where that phrase comes from these cars. It's a doozy.
Even before this auction, Duesenbergs had become the car of choice for the discriminating car collector.
Well, the Duesenberg is kind of a different point of view. When I first started collecting classic cars back in the late 60s, I just wanted a Duesenberg. Probably for the same reason some of the new rich want a Ferrari. I just wanted a Duesenberg because it was like the king of the classics. It was everything that was cool about a classic car. There's an aura about a Duesenberg.
All the right things going for it. The Provenance doesn't get any better, but Peter's asking for $1 million to start, and they got it right off the bat. It's going up in big chunks. It jumped in one $250,000 increment.
Well, it certainly kind of helps that it comes with actual drawings that Bauer made of the car when he had it designed.
Well, we just hit the 2 million mark.
Ken, why is the Duesenberg so important in American history?
You know, they only built 480 cars from 1929 to 1937, but oh, what cars they built. Fabulous roadsters, wonderful coupes, cars with twin cam, 420 cubic inch, 320 horsepower supercharged engines. They were the best of the best, and they were cleaning up on the racetracks at the same time. They are the rarest classics, they're the most sought after, and this car being the last one, it's no surprise to me that it's going for so much money. And it seems to be going to John O'Quinn, who's amassed an extraordinary collection.
Are you all done? Ladies and gentlemen.
At the time, $2.55 million was the most ever paid at auction for a Duesenberg Model SJ. And given its significance as the longest and last doozy ever built, along with its impeccable provenance, it was thought that the SJ Cabriolet had reached the high water mark for Duesenbergs. As it turned out, it held that record for a grand total of 7 months. Coming up, the final 5 of our top 10 cars, including an elegant French roadster, a dynamic race-winning Ferrari.
If I only had one car to look at for the rest of my life, I could be real happy looking at that one.
And many more when the RM Classic Car Auction returns.